Hi guys, it's Josh Lloyd here. NBA first look for DraftKings for Tuesday in the NBA. We've got 6 games on. Before I talk about them, why don't you hit subscribe down below? Hit the little bell, give it a little ring, and leave a comment as well. Let us know how you're going, how you feeling, how's the weather in your part of the world. Let's look at these games, 6 of them on. The first one, the Toronto Raptors and the Orlando Magic. We had this matchup just a couple of days ago. Norm Powell is questionable. There's no OG Anunoby. Powell missed the last game. He's questionable. They split his minutes between Terrence Davis and DeAndre Bembry last time. If Powell plays, it is a big opportunity for him because with Anunoby out, he does have that ability to put up some decent numbers, and he is priced at 6,400. And yeah, Norm Powell, when he starts, it's a very different animal to Norm Powell coming off the bench. 40 points in each of the last 2 games, both starts, both over 40 minutes played as well. He would be a pretty good play if he's ready to go. We just don't know that at this stage. Van Vliet's at 7,400. Very disappointing from Van Vliet against the Magic last time. 20 points only in that one, but I like him. He's a guy that bounces back nearly always. He'll have those rough shooting nights, but he can put up absolute 45, 50-point monsters. I like him. I like Nick Vucevic as well. 8,200 is a very good price for Vuce. And he put up a nice 46 points last time out. Look, no reason he doesn't get 40 as an absolute bare minimum here. And Aaron Gordon is out, so more touches will go his way. Lowry's at 73, looks all right to me, while Chris Boucher has tumbled. He is all the way down now at 4,900. They did not want to play him against Vooch. He played only 18 minutes and had 15 fantasy points. He is averaging just 19 minutes over his last 6 games and 19 fantasy points. That is rough. Only in GPPs, but I do not like this matchup for Boucher. Ken Birch at 42. Birch is giving us 20 a night. Now, I don't think he'll start with Gordon out. I think they'll go with Gary Clark there. But Birch gets backup minutes at the center spot and at the power forward spot already. And there's more opportunity here for him now. So I don't mind him as a cash floor player. While 5,500 for Cole Anthony, he should get more ball handling responsibilities as well with Aaron Gordon out. And that looks to me to be a good option. 7,700 for Siakam. Really like that price. I hate when he's at like 8.4, 8.5, but 77 looks really good to me. Terry Ross at 53. Well, he was horrible last game. Very hard to trust him. And then Aaron Baines at 43. Bainesy quietly, he's averaging almost 26 points over the last 3 games. I keep pushing that center button even though there's other spots available. All the center spots are all filled. I don't love it for Baines, but the recent record would tell you that maybe he's an option. Yuta Watanabe played well, but I don't think we need to look at him. Same with Terrence Davis or DeAndre Bembry if they do happen to fill in for Norman Powell. If we do hear that Powell is sidelined in this one. The next game we look at is the Clippers. They're taking on the Brooklyn Nets. James Harden not on the injury report. He missed the Nets last game, so he should be returning, getting back into business here. Irving's at 8,800. That's a very nice price for Kyrie. Now, Kyrie, with or without James, is putting up 43, 44 a night. At 8,800, is it enough? It probably is. I'm not sure it's a great option, but it's not bad for cash. Kyrie's at 9.2, and Kawhi Leonard is at 9,200. There is no Patrick Beverley again for the Clippers. Not that impacts Kawhi that much, but he should be a really solid floor player. While 10-1 for Durant doesn't get me too excited, even though his recent production's been great, averaging 56 over the last 5. I worry a little bit with the quality of the defense of the Clippers and just the potential to share the ball around. 8,900 for Paul George looks good to me. I like that salary. Anything sub 9 for George is great. While 10-9 for Harden. Now, Harden's been awesome as well, averaging 58 the last 3. I don't want to spend 10-9 when I can spend less of that on Kyrie, Kawhi, KD, or Paul George. Joe Harris had 42 in their last game. He's at 6,000, really just a GPP option. Zubats and Ibaka I'm not interested in, nor with DeAndre Jordan, while Reggie Jackson at 5,100 is appealing. He's getting about 30 points a night. He's getting good minutes, around 30 a night as well. And at 5,100, 30 points is pretty decent value. Jeff Green also went bananas last time out, so we've got to look at him at 5,400. He had 43 points there. Now, some of that is a factor of Harden being out, just a couple of extra shots to go around. I wouldn't be putting a huge amount of stock into Jeff Green at this point, while Bruce Brown replaced Harden and then replaced Durant the game before that. I don't expect we're getting Brown to do too much in this game. The Portland Trailblazers and the Washington Wizards is this next game. There is no, of course, CJ McCollum. There's no Yusuf Nurkic. There's no Derek Jones. Mo Wagner, 3,800 for Wagner. He is the best center left on this Wizards team. He's better than Robin Lopez. He's better than Alex Len. He dropped 30 in 21 minutes last game. If they give him 25 minutes, he obliterates this value. I really like him here. While Bertans at 47. Now, Bertans is not living up to this number at all. But he does have 35-point upside, clearly, as a GPP option. Dame Lillard's at 10.7, which is solid enough for cash. He's just cranking out big numbers, and then Westbrook's at 9.1. Now, Westbrook, of course, was awesome against the Nets, putting up an absolutely huge 74 points. He's only averaging 42 over his last 5, so we have to be a little bit 42 over his last 5. We have to be a little bit cautious, but I don't mind him as a tournament guy. I'm not fully investing in him here. While 6,900 for Kanter's probably too high, and Beal at 99, I think looks all right. Now, Beal has been playing well, but usage did come down somewhat. Not interested in Hachimura or Covington, and Gary Trent at 6,000 is definitely not a cash option. Melo, Robin Lopez, they're not the guys that I think are going to win you tournaments. The Wizards here are 2-point favorites, interestingly enough, and the total is one we really want to look at, 240.5 points. So getting guys in like your Westbrooks or Beals or your Bertans and your Wagners, and then those Blazers players, maybe even a Covington, you could throw a Cancer in just because of how high that total is. That should give you some real appeal when you're looking to stack. The Grizzlies and the Pacers next. This is a much lower total, 221, and the Pacers here are 6-point favorites. Injury-wise, we're not going to have Jaren Jackson. We may not have Jonas Valanciunas or Grayson Allen. They are out for Monday's action. We don't know if they'll be back on Tuesday. Miles Turner's been a bit disappointing the last couple games, just 28-point average. His salary has come down, so that's at least something to look at. 6,800 now for Miles. Probably more tournament than anything, but it all is just coming down to his blocks. Well, Jeremy Lamb's at 54, and Lamb has been pretty consistent. I think that's a good cash and tournament play, as is the fact that we only have to spend 7,900 for Malcolm Brogdon. That looks to be a very good price, as does the 87 for Sabonis, whose numbers actually have come down a little bit himself, but I still think there is value in him. I like Moran at 7,500. I'm not sure how high his upside actually is here, but I do like that. I do like that value there for him. He's someone for us to take a look at for sure. But I'm not 100% committed to it. 5,000 for TJ McConnell? Yeah, probably not. Dylan Brooks, Xavier Tillman, D'Anthony Melton at 45, could be a GPP guy, but there's not a huge amount that stands out in this one. Brandon Clark I would like, but the fact that he's at 6,200, just eliminates a lot of that appeal for me. The next one is the Pistons and the Jazz. The Pistons are coming off a back-to-back here, so we'd have to expect that Blake Griffin does not play in this game. He just hasn't been playing back-to-backs for most of this season. Rudy Gobert's at 7,200. I love that. He should be a 40-point plus guy here, while Don Mitchell at 7,600 struggled in his first game back from concussion. So I guess we do have a risk here that maybe he's not quite right. At 76, I like him, and I also like Mike Conley at just 6,400. I probably wouldn't use them together, but I do like them both individually. Jeremy Grant's at 7,000, and honestly, he hasn't been at that level. 33 points over his last 5 prior to Monday's game is not where you need to be for 7,000. He can turn it around, but the back-to-back and the Utah Jazz defense turns me away. Bojan Bogdanovic at 59 has been playing much better recently, but only for tournaments, and even then, I'm not super into it. While Jordy Clarkson at 58 is probably priced too high, and Wayne Ellington at 5,000, he's not the greatest DFS guy. I don't mind the 6,000 for D-Line Wright, but also I don't think it's spectacular. And 5,000 for Mason Plumlee is okay, but realistically, there's not a ton of value floating around in this one. Will Derrick Rose play? If Rose is out, I think that does help D-Line Wright, and then that 6,000 that we'd have to pay for D-Line becomes a lot more palatable, but I'm not certain. We don't know with Rose. He's played some back-to-backs. He's sat out some other ones. He's also playing terribly at the moment. But there is an opportunity there for more minutes for D-Line if Derrick Rose does happen to be sidelined. The last game of the day is the Boston Celtics. They are taking on the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco. This game at 10 p.m. Eastern. No Marcus Smart, obviously, while Draymond Green and Eric Paschall are both probable for the Warriors. Paschall's a $3,500 guy. Now, his recent production's been pretty poor, but he could be a 20-point producer here, especially because James Wiseman is out. So we're going to get a few extra minutes here for Paschall as the backup center, because they don't really have another center. There is no Marquise Chris, there is no Alan Smilajic, and there's no James Wiseman. So Paschall at 35 looks good. 8,600 for Jason Tatum. I do like that quite a bit. Hasn't quite been here dropping 50s on our heads that much, but had 49 last game in big minutes, of course. That looks all right. And I do like Tice at 5,000, who has established himself as the Celtics' best center. I think 3,400 for Kevon Looney. Now, Looney's not a big accumulator of numbers, but there is literally no other center on this roster. So he could play 25 or 26 minutes, and that could work out. And Jaylen Brown's come down to 7,800 as they try and figure out how best to use him and Kemba and Tatum together. His numbers have dropped somewhat, but not enough to drop him below 8,000, I don't think, so he's worth a look. Wiggins at 6'4" doesn't interest me, and Oubre at 5'7", despite some of his struggles, he's providing not bad cash value at that sort of salary. Steph Curry's at 9,600. His last 3 games against the Celtics, 46 points per game. He's averaging 45 in his last 5 in general. I think he's got good floor value. I'm not sure that we got the absolute big upside in this sort of a matchup there. And with Smart out, we're going to have someone like Jeff Teague or Javonte Green step up. Green is a minimum salary player. Now, he's not the greatest player. Otherwise, he'd be doing more than coming off the bench and not doing a huge amount in that time. But at minimum salary, is there an opportunity for someone like Javonte Green to come in and surprise us and drop 20? With the absence of Marcus Smart, I would at least keep an eye on him, especially with Langford and Pritchard both sidelined as well. That'll do it for today's look ahead to Tuesday for DraftKings. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, be cool like me and hit that notification bell, get a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, guys. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See ya.